Hey y'all, welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. On Monday, I made this cracked chicken tater tot casserole that I have seen so many YouTube mamas make, and I finally wanted to give it a try. So I have a rotisserie chicken, some sour cream, a can of cream of chicken, a 2-pound bag of frozen tater tots, a bag of shredded sharp cheddar cheese, a bag of bacon bits, and a package of ranch seasoning mix. So I'm just going to get all this mixed together in a bowl and thrown into a casserole dish. So I'm dividing that mixture between two 8x8 pans. I'm going to bake one now, and the one in the aluminum pan is actually going to be going in the freezer. So I will have a meal ready to go on a night that I just don't have time to cook. So the one in the aluminum pan, I'm not going to throw it in the oven. I'm just going to cover it with tin foil after I get it assembled, pop it in the freezer, and then when I want to pull it out, I will just thaw it in the fridge the night before and bake it in the oven the same way I would this one. And this one will be going in the oven at 350 degrees for 40 minutes. To go along with the casserole, I'm also making some fresh corn on the cob since it is summertime and it tastes so good right now. And I wanted to show you guys how you can do it in the microwave because it is life-changing. So I just cooked mine for 3 minutes per ear. So since I had 3, I set my timer for 9 minutes. And then I just cut off the end and squeeze out the corn. And as you can see, there is no silks attached and it cooks perfectly every single time. I sprinkled plenty of black pepper on top of my tater tots because I love black pepper, and this recipe was definitely a winner. I can see why so many people rave about this recipe. I'm so happy that I have one in the freezer waiting for me when I need it, and I don't have to put any work into it, and that corn was the best that I have had all year. On Tuesday, I made some barbecue ribs in the Instant Pot for the first time. So I'm starting with some country-style boneless pork ribs, and I have made a rub to go on those. So all that's in that bowl is some salt, pepper, brown sugar, paprika, onion and garlic powder, cumin, and some cayenne pepper. And as always, this recipe will be linked down in my description box if you are interested in the exact measurements. So all I'm doing here is I have took half of that rub and poured it on top. I just kind of patted it down into the meat, and now I'm going to flip those over and use the rest of that rub, and I'm just going to massage that into the meat pretty well. To my Instant Pot, I'm adding in about 3/4 of a cup of beef broth. Then I'm going to toss in those ribs, and then I'm going to pour on some barbecue sauce. Just use your favorite kind. I'm using a sugar-free one for this recipe. I poured in about a half a cup or so, and I'm just going to place my lid on, make sure it's set to sealing, and I'm going to let that pressure cook for 45 minutes, and then I'm going to let it natural release. To go along with that, I'm making some roasted potatoes. So I have just diced up some yellow potatoes. My dad actually gave me these. He got them from a local fruit and vegetable stand right next to his house. So all I've done is drizzle that with some olive oil, half a packet of ranch seasoning, some salt, pepper, and some minced garlic. So I'm just tossing all of that to coat, and that is going to go in a baking dish, or you could do a cookie sheet. I have just sprayed that with some nonstick cooking spray, and I'm spreading that out as evenly as I can, and I'm going to cook that at 400 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. Once those ribs came out of the Instant Pot, I just spread on a little bit of extra barbecue sauce, and these were super tender, and the flavor was incredible. I highly recommend this recipe, and I will definitely be making these again. Those potatoes were delicious, and I also have a little salad on the side. So I have some lettuce, tomato, cucumber, ranch, and some everything but the bagel seasoning. This meal was perfect. On Wednesday, I made a Doritos taco pasta salad. So to my bowl, I just added some lettuce, diced tomatoes, 2 big spoonfuls of cooked rotini pasta. I'm using the veggie tricolored one because that is my kids' favorite. Then I'm going to be adding a good amount of that taco seasoned ground beef. And then I'm going to be shredding some sharp cheddar cheese over the top. I think this recipe is perfect for get-togethers. Just mix it all together in a big mixing bowl and you're going to have some happy guests. So here I'm just taking some Doritos chips and crushing that over the top. And then I'm drizzling it with some creamy French style dressing. So I just tossed all of that together to make it look more like a pasta salad, and it was incredible. We loved it, and it is perfect for summertime. On Thursday, I made a 1-pot creamy kielbasa tortellini skillet. So you'll need some frozen peas, heavy cream, and Dijon mustard, some frozen cheese tortellini, paprika, onion, and garlic powder, of course your kielbasa, and then you need some sharp cheddar cheese. Since I didn't have a full block, I just threw in a couple slices, and then you'll also need some water. So I'm just going to get all this cooked up into my skillet. So this was a little more on the soupy side. I did try to thicken it up with some cornstarch, but I recommend that you cut back on the water. So use 2 cups instead of 3, and I will have that written out in the description box in case you are interested in this recipe. But it was delicious, and my kids loved it. As it cooled down, it completely thickened up, and it was great as leftovers. On Friday, I made some apricot chicken in my crock pot. So I have 6 boneless, skinless chicken thighs that I have seasoned with some onion powder. And then in this bowl, I have a mixture of apricot preserves, soy sauce, ground ginger, Dijon mustard, and some salt and pepper. So I just mixed that together really well, poured it over the chicken, and cooked it on low for 4 hours. So after the 4 hours was up on my chicken, I flipped my crock pot on over to the warm setting, and I let it sit like that for several hours because I've had 1,000,001 things to do today, and I'm just now getting around to making the sides for this. It is almost 9 o'clock at night, but that is okay. So the recipe said that you could put this chicken on a cookie sheet, top it with that sauce from the crock pot, and just flip your oven on to broil, and it will make that sauce stick on better. But as you guys can see, mine is sticking pretty well. I think it looks good, so I just skipped that step. I also served it with some white rice that I poured plenty of that extra sauce over the top, and then I also made some air fried roasted carrots, and I will let you guys know on the screen what we thought about this chicken recipe. On Saturday, we went to another one of my friends' baby showers, and they cooked out, so we had some cheeseburgers, and I have some fruit and veggies with dip. And then on Sunday, Josh wanted to go out to eat for Father's Day, so he chose Logan's Roadhouse. So that is going to wrap up this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and found some inspiration. If you are new here, I would love to have you, and I hope that you'll stick around and hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all back next week.